how to back up your Ethereum wallets, any ERC20 assets, and if you wanted a paperweight paper wallet that could, in theory, survive, an attack or probably an EMP. So if you're new to the channel, welcome to CryptoCurrent. I'm your host, CryptoRick, and today we're going to be showing you how to back up your private key for Metamask, MyEtherWallet or MyEtherWallet, and generate private keys accordingly, and what you could do from then on. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So most people probably have their assets on Metamask. It's the most widely connected to various applications, pools, farms, etc. So understandably, a lot of you have your assets on Metamask. So sometimes we got to be practical, and so first I'm going to just show you how to secure your Metamask first. So this is your Metamask wallet. Okay, you've got your assets there, and then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to do either one of two things. You can either click the three arrows or you can click on the arrow going down, but you're going to need to find the account details. So in this example, we're just going to go with the three dots. So you're going to find account details and you're going to then click on that. So once you do that, it's going to show you your an option like your account, the QR code, but it's going to have an option to export private keys. So this is what you want to do. You want to click on export private keys. It's going to ask you to put in your password of your Metamask account, and once you do that, you click confirm. If it doesn't come up with the confirm button, it means the password was wrong, so you got to make sure it's the right password. After you do that, it's going to show you a bunch of these digits, and you're going to need to write this down on a piece of paper very carefully. Bear in mind there's a lot of zeros and O's, so make sure to distinguish your your zeros with a line is common practice, and your O's as just a circle, uppercase and lowercase accordingly, because in the future you want to make sure that you could read this and you're not mistaking I's for L's, O for zeros, and so on and so forth. So make it very clear and even put notes to your future self on how it could be possibly interpreted. You want to future-proof even yourself. Once you do that, you click done. So now that's your Metamask, in theory, private key, obtained. Now, I don't like Metamask personally. Metamask doesn't allow you to directly import your private keys. They initially, if you're setting up a brand new wallet, they ask you to put in your seed phrases, but only once you've put in a seed phrase, then you can import using private key, which I think is not acceptable. You have to be able to put in your private key directly. The other thing is it's owned by Consensus and the Cabal, so there could be backdoors. So, and I'm not saying any of these wallets are not Cabal. This wallet is probably Cabal as well, but you want to at least find something that's not too popular that people know about, that they can backdoor en masse to steal people's funds. So you want to find something semi-obscure but safe to to hedge your bets. Anyway, so another wallet to consider. Note, these are not my endorsements. I don't think even this wallet is 100%, but we're going through it because it gives you private key and that kind of stuff. So I just want to make that very clear, that because a lot of people do DM me and they say, and they blame me for this wallet, it's update and iOS update, and you told me and now my funds are locked. You'd be surprised. Most people are reasonable, but you do get one or two that actually put the blame. And I just tell them, look, it's your accountability. I don't have your private keys. I don't have your seed phrases. And I'm certainly not responsible for any wallet that backdoors you or blocks you or locks you out, or its updates are faulty. So just bear in mind, and remember, in crypto, accountability is number one. You take your own accountability. Anyways, with that being said, consider MyEtherWallet and look into it. So what MyEtherWallet is basically another wallet alternative to MetaMask that basically, like the name suggests, it's an Ether wallet. And they have other networks in there other than Ether, but Ether is like the main one. Then you can add these subsidiary networks, which we can talk about, including Ethereum Classic, by the way. So, but anyway, so the first step is you're going to need to create a new wallet. So you're going to go to myetherwallet.com, and you're going to be showing up with this, and then you're just going to click create a new wallet. After that, it's going to prompt you to two options, the mobile app or the encrypt browser. You're actually going to do neither, because if you scroll down just a little bit more, and this is why it's such a psyop, if you scroll in a little bit more, you're actually going to see this little obscure option to say other ways to create a wallet, and that's what you're going to click. So don't click on mobile app, don't click on this. You're going to scroll a little bit down in the main page, and you're going to see other ways to create a wallet, and that's what you're going to click. Okay. Then it's going to prompt you to either do it through a hardware wallet or do it through a software wallet. Now, what you're going to need to do is go for this one. Again, notice the psyop. They say not a secure way to create a wallet. Software methods like Keystore file and mnemonic phrase should only be used in offline settings by experienced users. Well, hang on. If you're saying that this is not secure, why is it only for experienced users? Shouldn't it be the inexperienced users that shouldn't be using it? Basically, they're telling you this is an advanced setting, and it's not as safe because you're putting it, you're getting the Keystore file, but the Keystore file and the private keys are the actual direct access to the account, whereas a hardware wallet's an intermediary. Anyway, just a little rant to say that they always try and psyop you. So just ignore it and click create a software wallet. Then you're going to be prompted to two versions, and the private key comes later, just FYI. But for now, they just give you the Keystore file or mnemonic phrase. What you're going to do is click on Keystore file. Okay, don't click on the mnemonic phrase. Okay, we're not simpletons here. If you're in this channel, you're in the 1%, looking for the 1% path. This is the 1% path, Keystore file. Okay, and they even say we don't recommend this method of wallet creation, yet this is actually the actual account. Again, they keep bringing up these things saying, these options should only be done by experienced users. It's very straightforward, actually, so they just keep trying to psyop you. So click on Keystore file, and then it's going to prompt you to create a password. Okay, so put in a password, right, and then confirm it, and then go create wallet. And then when you do that, it's going to prompt you the same way that you do with the XDC wallet, which is very interesting because it's going to come up with save my Keystore file, and it goes secure it like the millions of dollars it may one day be worth. So very interesting. But anyway, you're going to download Keystore file. Once you do that, you're going to see in your browser at the top right hand corner usually the download symbol, and then it's going to save like an OTC notepad type file. So what people normally do is when they download it, they allocate their USB, like a removable USB, and they download it into that, because later on they can then put that in a Faraday bag to prevent it from an EMP pulse attack. But anyway, download the Keystore file, and then ideally it should give you open your wallet. So this is the new wallet. Now we'll discuss more things later. But then there's another way to actually access the wallet with your Filestore, and I'll show you now. If it doesn't bring up like this. So you're going to go back to the main page, the myetherwallet.com, and then you're going to go access my wallet, or you can just click here, access my wallet. Again, it's going to say how you're going to access your wallet, and it's going to give you the psyop options first, and you're going to do none of that. You're going to keep scrolling down, right, until you see this very obscure little option, and I can't believe this is the biggest psyop. They go not recommended of all the methods. They recommended all these other options, browser extensions through Google Chrome, which they say is safe, but getting the actual hard files and the private key, they say not recommended. Now that's a big psyop. And notice the background, they made a color blend in the background so you don't see it. They put everything else in white so you can see, but then they put it in blue and try and hide it from you. But anyway, again, I'm loving these psyops. It's like a challenge for me. So you're going to click access wallet through software. Okay. Now you're going to get the three options again with the private key, mnemonic phrase, or Keystore. Again, we'll get to the private key later, but for now, you're going to click Keystore. And then it's going to ask you to select the file where your Keystore wallet. And then if you just open, it's going to open, you just direct it to the USB folder that you put in the original download. Once you attach it, it should automatically import your account. Now, again, you're going to have the back to the Mu wallet. Okay. Then you want to triple secure it. So then what you do is you go settings at the bottom left, on the left column down, you're going to see settings. Okay, just a more clearer image. Okay, it's going to have settings. Once you're in settings, you're going to go export configurations. So it goes export your configuration file and save it on your local computer for later use. Again, click the export button. And same deal, put in the USB, blah, blah, blah. So now you actually export all your configuration files. Now that you've done all of that, you're now ready for the private key. Okay, so all of that was just basically getting the file store and the files saved and the configurations and everything saved. Now you want to get to the meat. Again, very hidden, very, very, very hidden, but near where your account is or portfolio, you're going to see a little dot or a little drop down menu, and that's what you're going to need to click. I expanded it so it's much clearer, but you can see there the drop down menu, and then hidden there is view paper wallet. Again, very hard to find. You're going to need to click view paper wallet. Finally, you're going to get the deed to the certificate, the deed to your account, and it's going to have your private key in red, and you're basically going to print out this entire document. It also has your public key address here. Okay, so that's it. So once you print it out, that's your account in theory secured. So now you're going to need to test it again. Access my wallet, or through here, access my wallet. And it's going to give you the PSYOP options first. You're going to do none of that. You're going to keep scrolling down to the bottom until you find that hidden access my wallet through software and private key. You're going to need to click it. And then this time you're going to choose the private key. And same story. You put in your private key and then access wallet. Note, this option doesn't give you seed phrases. It's just a private key, but in my opinion, having the private key is more important than having the seed phrase. So once you do that, now you're back to this, and I just wanted to highlight a couple of things here. So if you want to change networks, for instance, Ethereum Classic, you can do so here. Okay, but always test everything and whatever. There's also various options to add tokens and stuff. Basically, if you want your QR code information of your public, just your receiving address, it's all here. You can even copy it here, your balance here, and some other things. The reason I don't necessarily like Mu too much is because it's got swap functions, and generally, as a rule of thumb, I avoid any wallets connected to any exchanges or abilities to swap stuff. So in theory, there could be some backdoor thing with exchanges and whatever, but if I was given the choice between Metamask and Mu, I would still go Mu because of the fact that I've got the Filestore and the private key and backups basically, whereas Metamask I've just got a private key and seed phrase, but in the initial options with MetaMask, you can't actually import directly. Like you can't recover the account through private key. You actually have to put in a seed phrase first and then import a private key, which doesn't make sense to me. But I am a practical person, and I realize that, with Mu, it's going to have probably difficulties connecting to a lot of pools and a lot of applications. So the next thing you can do, which is an optional step, is you can import that Mu private key back into MetaMask. I personally didn't do it because I don't want MetaMask to see that key. And as needed, if I need it later on, I can always import it if I need to connect to an application. But I'm just going to put this step just for people that, for instance, want the safety of the private key, but they want to use they want to put that Mu account into MetaMask to then use other things. And then there's another community, Ether Wallet, and other networks as well. Internet Money Wallet. This one's created by people in the Pulse chain community. They're fairly respectable. They have a very, very low chance of backdooring and that kind of stuff. So if you wanted to, you could also import your private keys in there. The only thing I don't like about this particular wallet is the actual wallet. It only gives you seed phrases, and you can't actually export the private key, but you can import the private keys of others. But it's good because you can add Pulse chain, you could add other networks, Ethereum Classic as well. So it's quite nice, but it's not all of these options. I'm just telling you, it's not 100%. It's just what we have to make do with. But I'm going to show you how to do it anyway. So let's say you got MetaMask. Back to the MetaMask. You want to click the again the arrow. Basically the colored aspect. So some of them it's just the colored thing. Regardless, you're gonna need to see your accounts, and then one of the options should be import account, or you should see add account, but then an import. It prompts you you can choose the import option. Regardless, basically you click import account or add imported account. Then it's going to ask you, do you want private key or through JSON file like the Filestore? Again, the benefits of the Mu wallet is you could use either one here. Do you see why I chose Mu to begin with? Because you've got options. But anyway, you select private key, and then you paste you write down. Try and avoid copying and pasting the private key where applicable. So you type in your private key, and then click hit import, right? So you're going to click on the import. And that should then import your Mu seed phrase, or sorry, your Mu private key into the MetaMask should you want to still use MetaMask, but use that account. Second option is if you want to download the Internet Money app. They have an option in the main menu. Very hard to see here, but it's the only one I could find. It says add account, right? Once you click add account, it's going to ask you to just put a account name and private key. Okay, so in here and here, you're going to put in that private key, and then hit import account. And you could do this also for your MetaMask. You could grab your MetaMask private key and then import all your MetaMask accounts into Internet Money. Personally, I think do everything, like try and import your private keys to as many people as possible, so that if there's any problems, you've always got an application somewhere else where you can access your money. Ideally have one private key at least that MetaMask does not see. So you could create multiples, but always have one that you never import to MetaMask. So final words, remember, not your master private key, not your crypto. So that's the tutorial done and dusted. Again, I will be continuing the series with other assets, other wallets. It's obviously takes a lot of time, so your patience. And but otherwise, stay safe, hold the coins. We're all going to make it in the end. Let us surf and ride through the Kali Yuga. And as always, have a good day.